Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. I promise you this is the last keynote speech, and after that, we will do a lot of fun activities through the day. I just wanted to say something really short, and I wanted to thank you guys for being here. And I want to start with something simple. There is a lot of talk about entrepreneurship, but Bahrain is taking it seriously. Recently, it was ranked the 7th in the world entrepreneurship in the first global assessment by the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. And that ranking matters, not because of the number, but because of what it reflects. People here are not discussing ideas. They are acting on them. And they are building things, and they are really taking responsibility. Many of these founders are women, and many are building with sustainability in mind. They are building quietly, seriously, and without needing applause. At the same time, Bahrain is clearly moving in one direction, away from oil, towards innovation and towards the private enterprise, and towards long-term growth. That direction is outlined in Bahrain's vision, but visions only matter when people are willing to carry them forward. And that is where our Entrepreneurship Center fits in. Centers like this do not appear by accident. They exist because leadership makes a choice to trust, a choice to invest, and a choice to think beyond immediate results. Centers like this only exist when leadership believes in potential, not just performance. And the presence of the founding president, Professor Abdullah Al-Hawaj, and the university president, Professor Mansour, here today is symbolic. It is not just symbolic, it is directional. It tells us that entrepreneurship at Ahlia University is not an extracurricular activity. It is institutional, and that matters, because when leadership believes, students dare. Let me be very clear about one thing. Entrepreneurship is not about glorifying startups, and it's not romanticizing the struggle. Entrepreneurship is about problem ownership. It's the ability to look at real issues, just like Patrick said, and say, I'm willing to engage in this. Not necessarily solve it, not immediately succeed, but engage with it honestly and responsibly. The mindset applies to founders, it applies to employees, to mentors, to academics. So this center does not exist to produce unicorns. It exists to produce capable humans overall. People who can think clearly, they can communicate responsibly, they can adapt when things change, and they can take responsibility to the work in front of them. And I think this is a student-led initiative, and it's a great example of putting students in ownership positions. Yes, we do have some glitches, but at the same time, we did let them take the center stage and do an activity and learn by practice, not just by theory. Students do not need polished success stories. They need real ones. They need to hear about decisions with incomplete information. They need to hear about how values guide choices. They need to understand that credibility is built slowly, not announced loudly. Your role here today is not impress. It is to translate reality. And when students see you give your time and your honesty and your perspective, they learn something more valuable than advice. They learn what professional generosity looks like. Let me talk briefly about the events we host. They are not entertainment. They are designed experiences. Every debate in this forum, every panel, every competition, every volunteer role is made for them to learn something. So each one is built to teach things that cannot be taught in slides and classrooms. How to show up on time, how to listen carefully, how to disagree without disrespect, how to speak with clarity, and how to represent yourself and your institution. When a student stands on stage representing Ahlia University, they are not just representing themselves. They are carrying the reputation of this university. And this we take very seriously. So let me give you a very simple image. A student stands on stage, they are asked a very difficult question. They do not have the time to think or the perfect answer. What matters the most here is not brilliance. It is composure, clarity, and honesty. And these moments are where confidence is built, not through applause, but through participation. To the students here today, you are not here to be inspired, you are here to be equipped. No one expects you to have everything figured out, but you are expected to be present. This center will challenge you, sometimes quietly, and sometimes uncomfortably. This is intentional, because confidence is not built by watching. It is built by doing. And we are living in a time where information is everywhere, but wisdom is very rare, where platforms move very fast, but values move very carefully. And Ahlia's role is not to chase trends. It is to prepare people for reality. The Entrepreneurship Center is part of that preparation. It says we trust our students enough to expose them to the real world before the real world demands it from them. So we bring the real world to our students. That is leadership, and I want to end with this. What we are building here is not loud, it's not flashy, but it's solid. And years from now, when people talk about Ahlia graduates, they will not say they were good at exams. They will say they knew how to think, they knew how to act, and they knew how to represent themselves and their country. That is the standard, and that is the responsibility we carry together. Thank you for believing in this vision. Thank you for building it with us. And thank you for showing through your presence today that this work matters. And to our mentors, entrepreneurs, thank you for not pretending everything worked out perfectly. Students do not need superhero stories. They need real human ones. So thank you.